I was just watching a little bit of Family Guy, and it's an episode where the wife goes blind, and daughter suggests that she makes a video on YouTube. She'll feel better, and well, I don't know about her site yet because I haven't finished the episode, but a whole bunch of companies start sponsoring her. I don't know what you call it, but it's the first episode in season 20. You're welcome to watch it. I don't know where you'd watch it, in Netflix or TV or torrents or whatnot. But basically, a whole bunch of companies send her stuff for her to sell, and so she doesn't get her site back, but she starts, improving that way. I don't even know what I mean to say today. I'm not really in the mood to say anything of value. I ain't got anything to say of value. I think I've said everything I need to say 100 times. Maybe more. I mean, I've got like 700 posts on my blog. I've got, I don't know, maybe 100 videos on YouTube. Nothing interesting to say, really. Nothing interesting to show. I mean, I'm just this dumbass kid from Toronto. Not a kid. I'm 40 years old almost. I'll be 40 in November. The government of Israel wants a criminal background check for me. And considering how I look, that doesn't surprise me, but what confuses me is the laws that govern the state of Israel. I mean, I grew up in the yeshiva system, and those are the laws that mattered in the past, I'd say. Oh, this is so part of me cares about them. One time somebody asked me, what am I focusing on? And I said, the commandments between man and his fellow. Because at the time, that's really what matters to me. I start the day shacharis, I pray the morning prayers of the Kotel, the Western Wall, all the sight in the world for a Jew, that every Jew's allowed to go to today, I think. In fact, the whole world is encouraged to pray there because God called his temple, his house, Kibeti Beit Tefillah Krei L'Omim, that his house would be a house of prayer for all nations. But, I've been doing this for give or take 4 years, and I haven't even been on a date, and I can't remember how long, let alone, find a woman to marry, but I don't really have where to take her. I mean, I live in this tiny little room. I got a single bed. And I don't just mean a bed, I mean a single bed, as opposed to a twin, as opposed to a queen, as opposed to a king. In fact, I'm not even sure it's a single, it might even be a child bed. I'd ask for a sponsor to send me a new bed, but I don't even know how to get it through the door. I mean, that door is smaller than your standard North American door. I got cousins out in Arnaud, and they live in a modern North American apartment. They got modern appliances, and they got central AC and heating, but he's Orthodox, and so is she. Of course, then again, they sent their only son over to the U.S. I was under the impression to escape the draft, but apparently he was exempt because he was in the yeshiva system. I don't know. I don't really know how things work. And if I had kids, I guess I'd want them to make up their own mind. Apparently there's three, technically 4 paths you can take. There's the yeshiva system, there's Share Lumi, which means national service, and then there's actual army, and there's draft dodgers. And I'm not American. We don't have a draft in Canada. I don't think we ever did. Countdown till Shabbat actually starts. It's about 3 o'clock now. Dark's around 7, so about 4 hours. If I could hope for anything in the next 4 hours, I mean, within reason, I don't know. Whose reason are we talking about? About. I'm Canadian, except they don't say what would I like? Time machine to go back in time to October of 2001 and not bring my girlfriend to the dorms and talk to her, and then maybe my parents first, and her parents and her, about getting married. I mean, I fell in love with her so fast. I fell head over heels. These days I don't fall in love. These days there's infatuation and basically ignoring, because I don't even know what kind of woman I want. I mean, I want her to be physically attractive, and I want her to maintain that shape after she has kids. Ideally, I think I'd like to do, Orthodox, modern Orthodox, synagogue, twice a day, 3 prayers a day. Like to study all of Talmud. Like to study all of Shulchan Aruch. I'd like to have some sort of day job. Maybe a business or two. I don't know. It would take a lot of funding. I go out there and get my 50 plus shekels a day in the steps of the Kotel, and that's cigarette money. It's a little bit of groceries, save up a bit here and there. I got myself a fan. I bought a shaver today. I was tempted to buy it yesterday or 2 days ago. I stock up on various small items. It's not, ideally I'd have, like millions. And I could start some sort of business, and I don't even know what kind of business to get into, because out here in Adam, it's like dead out here, I mentioned to my cousin a couple of times I wanted to run a compassion club, where people can get a joint and a cup of coffee. But as far as I can tell, it's just been guys, and I'm not interested. Plus, he's not lifting a finger to help me in my life, he's not suggesting, a specific lawyer we can talk to about speeding up my aliyah, because come November, I don't think I'm going to have that RCMP criminal background check. I've never been arrested in Canada, never been arrested in the US, never been arrested in England, never been arrested in Wales, never been arrested in Ireland. The only place I've ever been arrested was in Israel. When I was in Sfat, I was staying by this woman's apartment with a buddy, this guy I met from South Africa, and there was another guy from Quebec who was staying there, who was leaving after a couple of days, and then there was Barbara Streisand's grandniece, and apparently she'd caused a lot of problems for guys in the past, claiming to be older than she was, and I don't know, I was just WhatsApping her, and when she'd walk in the room, I'd try and start a conversation, and she got ticked off, and she called the police, and they arrested me. But they told me later that they only arrested me because I didn't want to show them ID. And the reason I didn't want to show them ID is because every time I go anywhere, everybody asks for ID. And I'm like, the fuck? How many times does the guy have to show ID? I understand Israel is a very security conscious country, and that's one reason to have an Israeli ID, is that I could just, have it on me, they could just see it. That's actually one of the reasons I had a photo of my Canadian passport printed onto 2 of my shirts, just in case anybody wanted to see my ID, but it's not readable, it's just, in fact, it's like about 2/3 the size of the actual passport. So it's Friday afternoon. I'm pretty sure it's Parshas Re'eh, I think. I don't know, I haven't checked in a while. Last week or 2 weeks ago, so I started on my brother's permissive parsha. What would I like? The buses stopped running in about an hour or 2 hours. I'd very much like if some woman who's approximately 5'4", let's say, and let's say about 100 to 110 pounds, B-size breasts, come by and spend Shabbat with me. I don't expect it to be much. I don't have any wine. I didn't buy any challah. I bought a loaf of bread. A little bit of peanut butter left. Bought some chicken poppers over at Schmaltz's Deli. Figured I'd try that for Shabbat. And I have 1 laffa falafel. And I got a bag of Doritos and a bag of chips and a box of cookies. I think it's a box. I don't know what you'd call it. It's a plastic container. I don't know what you call a plastic container. And of course there's coffee. And I bought orange juice and grapefruit juice and pomegranate juice, I think. Yeah. Very, very depressed. Women don't like me. And because I'm constantly forced to be in places with guys, I lock myself in my room. And before I was locking myself in my room because I was just depressed. Now it's not just depressing, now it's just annoyance, like everywhere I go. Except for on the steps of the Kotel, there aren't any families. Maybe subconsciously, I'm getting this message that families are good, but you gotta pay out. It's a constant paying thing. I don't know. Speaking of paying, I'm really hoping a buddy of mine back home is gonna send me some money. I put out the number $171. Why? Because another buddy of mine sent me $1.71. Said that was all he had in his account. I feel really bad for him. But then again, he lives with his parents and he gets along with his parents. I haven't got along with my parents in forever. Before I was 12, before my parents got divorced and before my mom's parents died, Hey, maybe we had tiffs, but we generally got along. Generally respected them and generally liked them. Fear too, I'm not so sure. But after my mom's parents passed and parents got divorced, it's basically just fear. Honoring them. My mom stayed religious, we became more religious. My dad is non-orthodox, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's what. And I don't even know if this video is going to help me or hurt me. But I'm putting it out there and, yeah. Sure would be nice to have a female companion. A pleasant one. Mostly pleasant to me, not to anybody else. I mean, I don't mind if she's cordial with other people, but I'm very, distrusting. I mean, like even if she showed up, it's just sexual addiction, sexual proclivities. I don't know what it is, but, yeah, I don't know. Heck, if a woman showed up, I don't even know if I'd want condoms around. It's weird because, there's the commandment to mitzvah to have children, and at the same time, you gotta have safe sex because, you don't want AIDS, you don't want HPV, you don't want gonorrhea, you don't want whatever. All the more reason I wanted, some rabbi or rebbitzin to set me up with somebody that had read my blog, keeping up with my blog, back then in my Facebook. Well, these days my Facebook barely exists. And, somebody appropriate. I've had myself tested, although not recently. Maybe I should have, 4 years ago, October of 2018, I had sex on the beach with a woman, unprotected. In fact, the only time in my life I ever prayed that a woman I was having sex with would have children. She didn't. And then 2 women after that used condoms. This video is probably a waste of time. I go to synagogue, but I guess I don't believe in God anymore. I mean, I go to the kotel every morning, and I don't really believe. Just going through the motions. And I used to believe, and it didn't get me what I wanted. I mean, if he gave me cyanide pills, I'd probably take them. I'm just so sick and tired of going through the motions, whether I believe or I don't believe, and not getting what I'm looking for. Maybe I'm talking to God. God, if you're out there, I want my own home. I want a bank account filled with millions, dozens of millions. I want the most beautiful wife in the world, physically and spiritually and emotionally and mentally, etc., etc., etc. And I want to be a very charismatic guy. I don't know. It is what it is. I guess if you're going through hard times, maybe you can relate. I don't really relate to others anymore. I gave up. Okay. Toodles.